time for another edition of Pet Talk, this time starring Bear the dog. And Bear's owner is joining us as well, Ariel McTavish, and we're at the Pet Valu in Tacoma. So Ariel, thank you so much for bringing Bear today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
We're going to talk about grooming today, everything you need to groom your pet at home or here at the dog washing facility you have on site. First of all, there's a little prep work that needs to be done. In order to prepare your animal to be calm for home or store grooming, you want to walk them, I understand.
Yeah, give them a nice walk, give them an opportunity to burn off some extra energy, just so they're a little bit more relaxed, a little easier to work with. It's can be a pretty all over the place process for them, so it's nice to have them nice and calm and quiet.
Perfect. Good. Dogs can get dirty. Yes. We know that. They can, sometimes they can have a regular grooming ritual. You get Bear professionally groomed every, say, 6 to 8 weeks, but you need to do work in between that anyway.
Absolutely.
What do you need to do?
Yep. So Bear gets maintained in between his grooms, so we brush him weekly. Occasionally, he needs a little help with his nails in between grooms, so we will trim his nails as needed. We give his ears a little clean, and then because he's so hairy, we do also trim around his bottom as needed.
Yeah, of course. Like the little bit of tidying up is not a bad idea. We are going to get to the dog wash in a second. I know you also sell equipment here to help people do home grooming. So you have a fine selection of brushes and things. Talk about sorts of things you might need to keep your dog maintained.
Absolutely. So for a double-coated dog like Bear, his primary go-tos are a slicker brush and a undercoat rake. If you have a shorter coated dog like a lab, you'd be okay with, it's called a Zoom groom, but it's a little rubber curry, and those will help lift up any shedding hairs on labs or shorter coated dogs who don't need quite the in-depth grooming that someone like Bear would need.
You're going to show us a little bit of the things you do to keep Bear looking as handsome as he is. What tools do you use?
Absolutely. So with Bear, we start with a slicker, and your slicker is going to get right down into this undercoat here, help bring up some of the shedding hair, and also give the top coat a bit of a fluff as well. So the undercoat in double-coated dogs is what sheds the most. They tend to blow it in the spring and in the fall. So with a slicker brush, the best thing to do is to part the hair, and then you're going to take your slicker and put it right up under this hand, and you're just going to pull straight back like this.
Just gentle little fluffs.
Yeah.
And Bear doesn't seem to mind it at all.
Not at all. So if you're doing it properly, you can hear it kind of sounds like Velcro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that will help lift up some of that undercoat. You can see even that little bit brought up some for him. If you do long strokes like this, it's going to grab the top coat and it's not really going to get down to where that undercoat builds up.
Okay, perfect. So to make it more comfortable, you get right in there.
Right.
What about actual, like, Bear is beautifully clipped. Say you find a mat in your dog.
Yeah. So for mat removal, best option, honestly, is to get it removed by a professional.
Okay.
If you do have a small knot, he has none, but we'll pretend.
Yeah.
If you do have a small knot, sometimes you can work at it a bit with your slicker. You want to start at the end of the coat and work all the way down. A comb is also a good option for that. If it is a full-on mat and it's not just a little knot or a tangle, that will typically need to be scissored out, which is why you'd want to go for a professional.
Why not? Okay, let's talk a little bit about washing the animal now, because every once in a while a dog can get into some lobster stuff or go in the ocean.
He rolled in some bike oil right before this taping, actually.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Bear's already had his bath, but let's put Bear in and demonstrate what would be done. Okay, Bear's going to show us how the professional dogs get bathed. So you just have to bring your dog and
good boy.
There's a little thing right here on the dog wash. You clip them in.
Yeah, so we do have a little safety tether here just to help keep them in the tub. And these fit the same as a regular collar at home. So you want to have 2 fingers vertically like this, right under their neck. And then we have the shower right there is fully temperature controlled. It's got a couple different nozzles on it if you need to get deeper into the coat. When you're bathing them, it's helpful if you can leave the shampoo on for 2-3 minutes to really do its job, kind of like we're supposed to leave conditioner in our hair.
Yeah.
And then when you're rinsing it out, you want to work at the top, beginning at the top of the neck, down the sides, and then down the back, because that's going to help the shampoo slide down their hair and get all of it off. And then when you think you're done, if you pinch a little bit of hair and give it a rub like this, it should be nice and squeaky. If it's not squeaky, there's still shampoo or conditioner in there.
Okay, so give it a really good rinse. Let's talk a little bit about shampoo. I know you brought a couple here to show our viewers. You actually have a full shampoo bar.
Yes.
Everything from odor removal to, different kinds of skin conditions with your dog. Like, you've got the full line there. But if you wanted to have shampoo on hand at home for bathing, what would you recommend?
Absolutely. So shampoo needs really come down to the individual dog. So we do have a variety of options depending on what works best. Bear is definitely big on the shed control here. So this will help open up the hair follicle, help release any hair that is getting ready to shed out. So very helpful this time of year and in the fall. And then we have also used this one here, which is the Maximum Brilliance, and it's a whitening shampoo. So it does have all natural additives in it that help brighten up the whiter parts of him. So his white is very white, and it is because we use the whitening shampoo just on his collar and his little ruff. And
there's a shampoo for that.
all right, so once Bear has had his bath and he's so clean and a little wet, we have towels available. So these are included with the self-serve dog wash here. And we're just gonna give him a nice little towel off. Oh my gosh, we're just gonna give him a nice little towel off and help remove some of the water that's running off. And then we do also have a velocity dryer just behind you here that's on a hose. So you can use that to blow out the remaining water. It's really good for getting down into their undercoat because you don't want too much water staying in there.
I'm sure that your pet care expert here at Pet Valu could answer any questions you had for bathing your animal or grooming your dog to perfection. But thank you, Bear, for being such a beautiful model today.